Hi, my name is Alison. I work for Keithley Healthy Living. One of our specialist programs is Rethinking Pain. I specialise in movement techniques to support people with persistent pain, and together we can support you to get moving more. So before we start today's exercise, you need to check the area around you is free from any hazards, nothing to trip or fall over, nothing sharp to knock into. Before you participate in the exercise today, you need to be feeling fit and well, free from any medical conditions, illness or injury. You will need a chair for the exercises today. We're going to do part sitting and part standing today. It's a bit of a variation on what we did last week. So you need a good stable chair for your exercises. We're going to start with a warm-up. We'll do some chair exercises before we move into standing. As we said in the last session, it is natural to be hesitant about moving more when you have pain. However, if you gradually become more active, it's unlikely to cause you any harm and you probably will feel some benefit. Today's session will be a mix of gentle movements. You can move at your own pace and just do what you're able. Take things at your own pace. What we're after is a fun and friendly workout. You need to be wearing something comfortable with something on your feet to protect you from slipping. And if you have a drink of water at the ready, because sometimes you can get thirsty while you're having while you're doing the exercise. So if you're ready to start and we're sitting comfortably, we're just going to check that we're in the right position to start. So your feet need to be flat on the floor, roughly a 90-degree angle between your feet and your body, your back nice and tall with your tummy pulled in nice and tight. And we're just going to start by just shrugging the right shoulder. So we're just going to lift and lower, lift and lower, lift and lower. So we're warming up through those shoulder joints. And then onto the other side, just a straight lift and lower, keeping that back tall, keeping that tummy in nice and tight. Two more. And then we're just going to take it into the shoulder circle. So just rolling around that shoulder, keeping that head facing forwards. And take it back the other way. And then moving on to the other side. So we're just going to circle that shoulder forwards. And back the other way. And then we're just going to lift and lower both together. And circle around. So that's warmed up our shoulders nicely. Now let's do our head. So we're going to just glance to the right and the centre, left and centre. Keeping that back tall, keeping that tummy in nice and tight. Right and centre, left and centre. And then from here we're just going to look up and look down. So taking the head up but not taking the head back. Important to keep your head in line with the spine and take care not to strain your neck. And then from here we're just going to give the little fingers a warm up. So we're just going to shake the hands. And then we're just going to push through each of the fingers to get those fingers moving. Which is particularly good if you've got arthritis in your fingers. Or should we say to prevent arthritis in your fingers too. And then we're just going to circle those wrists. And back the other way. Lovely. And from here we're going to lift up the knee. So we're just going to lift and lower that right knee, and we'll do that 8 times. Just lifting that knee up in front of the body. If you're not lifting as high as me, don't worry. Alternatively, you might be lifting your knee higher than me, which is excellent. Just take things at your own pace. And then over to the other side. Lifting and lowering, keeping those hips facing forwards, keeping that back nice and tall. 4 more here. And then from here, we're just going to work through those hamstrings. So taking the foot in front and curling it backwards. Nice and gently. Heel towards your bottom. Just curling that hamstring. And then over to the other side, just curling that foot forwards and backwards. So we should feel the back of the leg warming up nicely. And then we're going to march through those feet to try and get the heart rate up and get us warm. So just keep marching a little faster. And then we're going to switch to alternate knee lifts. So just lifting each leg up in turn. You can add a little bicep curl with that if you like. So curling the hands towards the shoulders. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're just going to push in front with the heels. So pushing each heel in front. Warming up through those legs. And then we're going to take a little heel and toe with each leg. So heel into floor, tip of the toe to the floor, just warming up through the ankle joint. Shoulders back and tummy in tight. Again, you can use your bicep curl at the same time. And over to the other side. Heel into floor, tip of the toe to the floor. Just warming it up. So we've got a lot of movement in the ankle joint. And resting there. Okay, we're going to take the hands in front of the body now. And we're going to turn to the right and centre, left and centre. Right and centre, left and centre. Keeping those hips facing forwards and keeping that back nice and tall. So just warming up through the sides of the body. Side and centre, side and centre. Back tall, tummy in tight. One more each side. And relax there. From here, we're just going to imagine that we've dropped something on the floor and we're just going to take it to the side and lift up, to the side and lift up. So we're just keeping those hips facing forwards and we're just bending at the waist with the shoulders back. Side and centre, side and centre. Let's do one more each side and relax there. Okay, we're just going to march through those feet again, getting this body warm before we start our main exercise. And we're going to start with the arms again today, as we did last time. So just marching through, and then we're just going to heel and curl through the heels and give the biceps a curl. I'm going to do the exercises with the arms today without any weights. If you have some weights at home and you want to use those, you can. You can do them without the weights, the same as me. Or if you feel like you want to work a little bit harder, you could use a water bottle or some tins of vegetables or whatever you've got in your cupboards to act as a weight for yourself today. Okay, so we're just going to bicep curl now, just the arm. So we're just going to curl in towards the shoulder and out. So you can see I'm clenching a fist and I'm bringing that fist up towards my shoulder. So I'm working the bicep muscle, which is this muscle here, which helps us with daily tasks. Good one for being able to carry your shopping back, do your ironing, or any other day-to-day activities. So we're just curling that bicep up. Let's do 2 more here and then move on to the other side. So hand in front and we're just curling up and down. Shoulders back, tummy in nice and tight, just curling up through that bicep, getting the arm working. Any blood pressure issues or heart conditions, you might want to just wiggle your toes or tap your feet while you're doing that to keep the venous return to the heart. Back tall, tummy in, using that bicep. Head looking forwards. 4 more like this. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest it there. Okay, march through those feet again to keep us warm. And then we're going to take that little push in front with the heels. So we're just going to push forwards. Four more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Okay, so keeping with the arms, we're just going to take the arm out to the side now. So one hand down at the side of you and the other hand is going to lift out to the side. So I'm just lifting and lowering with my left arm. Palm facing down to the floor. Lifting and lowering. 4 more here. 4, 3, 2. Last one, and then we're going to go up for 2 and take it down for 2. And as we move through gravity slower, it creates more weight. Up for 2 and down for 2. Up for 2 and down for 2. Last one. And rest there. Let's give that arm a rest and move over onto our other arm. So the right arm now is lifting and lowering. Hips stay facing forwards, feet flat on the floor for your support. And keep that back nice and tall. So we're aiming to lift that arm out to shoulder height and then back down again. Again, if you can't quite lift it right out to shoulder height, just lift it to where you can. Every time you do the exercises, you'll find you can lift a little bit more. And we're working up to full range of movement. 2 more. And last one. Then we're going to go up for 2 and down for 2. So up for 2 and down for 2. Nice and controlled. Shoulders facing forwards. Up for 2, down for 2, up for 2, down for 2, and last one. Relax it there. Let's just roll those shoulders round because we've done a lot on the arms there. Okay, we're going to take those arms now out to side and up. So they are, elbows are in line with the shoulders. We're going to use the feet with this one as well. So we're going to lift and lower the knees, lift and lower the heels up and down so your knees have a slight lift to them. We're going to take the elbows together and then out again. So we're facing forwards, and this one's working the front of the chest and the upper arms. So we're going to breathe in and out, breathe in and out. And as you can see, I move my heels up and down at the same time. Up and down, back tall, tummy in. Let's do 3 more. 2, and last one. From here, we're just going to pull the elbows down, and I'm just using my feet again at the same time. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest there. Now here we're going to just lift the toes off the floor, and we're going to lift up and pull down. Lift up and pull down. Up and pull down. Up and pull down. Twice more. And last one. Release there. Give those hands a shake. That was quite a lot of work on those arms, wasn't it there? Okay. What we're going to do now is one that we did last week, or last session should I say, and we're going to work around the middle, so around the core of the body. So we're going to bring the knee in towards the chest first of all. So we're going to do 4 knee lifts straight in, and then we'll do 4 knee lifts touching hand to knee, and then if you want to advance it you can do elbow to knee. So we're just going to lift in straight in towards the front of the body, so just the right leg. Lift in and down, in and down, keeping the back tall and keeping the tummy in nice and tight, looking straight forwards. And then we're going to take opposite hand to elbow, or opposite hand to knee, should I say. Hand to knee, lifting in front of the body. 3 and 4. Now if you want to advance it, you can take in opposite elbow to knee. Fine to stay with the hand if you want to. 2 more. And last one. So you should have felt that down the side of the body as well when you involved the elbow. Okay, let's do the other side. So just lifting that knee straight in towards the chest, keeping that back tall and keeping that tummy in nice and tight. Now involve the hand. So working down the side of the body at the same time. And then if you want to advance it to elbow, take your elbow across. Last one. Relax there. We're going to do a second set of those, so we'll do the same again, starting with the right leg. So bring it in and down. So just straight in front of the body to start with. And then opposite hand to knee. And then over, and then we're taking the opposite elbow to knee. Again, you don't have to do this, you can just stay with the hand if you prefer. Feel it down the side of your body as you lift across and back, across and back, and last one. Relax there, over to the other side. So we're just lifting in front of the body and down. Shoulders nice and relaxed. When you're ready, you can add the hand. And then if you want to advance it further, you can take the elbow across. And last one. Okay, just march those feet through to get a bit more movement in. You can really feel that in the front of your thighs. So it's working your tummy, the sides of your body, and you also feel it in the thighs as well. Okay, we're going to push out now, flexing the heels, getting the heart rate up again. Pushing through. Four more here. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to do a little hamstring curl. So we're going to take hold of the right leg and we're just going to lift and curl it back in. So you're lifting your heel and curling back in. So almost till your leg is almost straight and then curl it backwards. So we're controlling that as we're going back. So we're not just swinging the leg, we're just taking it up and controlling it as it comes back so the hamstring does the work. Two more. And last one. Let's go and do the same on the other side. So we're just taking that leg up and bringing it back. Up and back. Flexing the foot. Nice and controlled. Lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. Final 2. And last one. What we're going to do now is we're going to squeeze the thighs together. So imagining we've got a cushion or a balloon between our thighs. We're really working those inner thighs, and we're also working the pelvic floor at the same time. Again, remembering your posture, so keeping that back nice and tall. We're going to squeeze the thighs together and think about squeezing up through your pelvic floor. So think about squeezing up inside your body as you bring the inner thighs together. We're going to, first of all, we'll just be bringing the legs in and out, and then we'll be bringing them in and holding. Remember to keep breathing when you're doing this exercise. When I say hold, I mean hold the exercise. Don't hold your breath. Quite bad for you to hold your breath, so make sure you keep breathing. So we're going to squeeze in and release, squeeze in and release, squeeze in and release. So easiest version is to just slide your feet along the floor as you squeeze in with the inner thighs and in with the pelvic floor. If you want to work a little bit harder, you can take your feet just off the floor and use those inner thighs and pelvic floor. So think about lifting yourself up as the inner thighs come in. So squeeze, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this time we're going to squeeze and hold. So bringing the feet together and hold, squeeze up. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, release. Okay, let's do that again. Bring the legs in and hold. Remember, we're holding the exercise, not holding our breath. Squeeze in and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, release. Again, squeeze in and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, release. And last one, squeeze and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, release. Let's just do 8 little squeezes in, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. So squeeze and release, squeeze and release, squeeze and release. And that's the 8th one. Rest it there. Let's get a bit of movement into our bodies again. Just move the legs, move the arms. Okay, I'm going to think about working our core again now. So what I'm going to just turn my chair sideways on so you can see me a little bit better. I'm making sure I've got a space here at the back of my chair. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the hands in front of me, and I'm going to take my body backwards, keeping the back flat, and then I'm going to use my tummy muscles just to lift me back up. You can also, again, work your pelvic floor when you do this. If you want to squeeze your pelvic floor as you lift up, that also works your pelvic floor too. So sitting nice and comfortably, keeping that back nice and tall. We're just going to use the tummy muscles to take that back backwards and use those tummy muscles to pull it all the way back up. Take it back and lift it up. Back and lift it up. Keep that back tall. Keep the tummy nice and tight. My hands are moving, but I'm really focused on using my tummy muscles to move my body. Back and lift up. Take it back and lift up. Body away from me. Body back towards my hands. Shoulders back. Tummy in. Breathe out and breathe in. Keep it going. 2 more in this position. And last one, relax. We're going to do the same exercise again, but this time we're going to do it a little bit slower, so it's working slower against gravity. Taking the hands up in front, we're going to go back for 2 and then up for 2. Slowing the exercise down through gravity is going to make it harder. So if you prefer to just keep going at the same speed as we did a moment ago, that's absolutely fine. So hands in front, and we're going to go back for 2 and then up for 2. Back for 2, up for 2. Shoulders back. Tummy in nice and tight, using those tummy muscles to take us back. And pull up, take it back, and pull up. 2 more in this position. And last one. Rest there. And the third and final stage of this exercise, you can cross your hands over your chest. We're going to go back for 3 and then up for 1. If you prefer to keep your hands in front, that's again is absolutely fine. So we're just going to cross the hands in front of the chest, and we're going to go back, 2, 3, up 1. Back, 2, 3, up 1. Using those tummy muscles to pull the body back up, back, 2, 3, up 1. Back, 2, 3, up 1. 2 more like this. And last one. Using those tummy muscles, and relax it there. We've done a lot of work on our tummies, so we're going to even out the workload a bit now, and we're just going to do a nice exercise for the back. So hands on our thighs, we're going to just slide the hands down over the knees. Now the important thing here is to check that your head is in line with the spine all the time. So my head is looking forward, I'm not twisting my back in any way, it's just nicely straight forward. So we're just going to slide the hands down the thighs and take the hands over the knees, in front of the calves, and down towards the toes. If you can't quite get down to your toes, that's fine. Down to your calves or down to your shoelaces will be fine. Just hold it there, and then we're just going to slowly and gradually take it back up. Keeping the head in line with the spine, we're just going to carefully unstack the back. Bringing the hands over the knees and stacking the back, lifting the shoulders down and taking the head up. And just resting there one moment. Keep looking forwards. And then we're just going to again slide the hands down over those knees, in front of the calves, towards the shoelaces and the toes. And then we're going to slowly uncurl that back up, keeping the head in line with the spine, keeping the back tall, shoulders back, and lifting up. Let's do 2 more of these. So hands down over those knees, in front of the calves, towards the shoelaces and the toes, keeping the head in line with the spine. We're suddenly going keeping the head in line with the spine. We're slowly going to take those hands back in front of the calves and slowly and curving that back vertebra by vertebra, bringing it up. And relaxing that back, and finally the shoulders and head up. On to the last one. Slowly sliding those hands over the thighs, over the knees, to the calves. Keeping that head in line with the spine. Hands down towards the shoelaces and the toes, holding that position. And then slowly, not forgetting to breathe as you do this, of course. Sliding those hands up, over the knees, onto the thighs, shoulders back, chin up, and head looking forwards. Well done. Okay, our last seated exercise today, we're just going to do some oblique twists. So we're going to take the hands in front of us, and we're going to turn to the right first of all. So we're going to go to the right and centre. Keep going to that right and back to centre. So we're feeling it down the sides of the body. Side and centre, side and centre. Keeping that back tall, keeping that tummy in nice and tight. 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest there. Let's go over and do the other side now. So side and centre, hips facing forwards, just turning from the waist. side and center. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax it there. How are we all? Are we all okay? Don't forget you can message me in the box to ask me any questions that you might want to ask, or you can just let me know you're joining me by liking the post today. Okay, let's slowly now get into a standing position. So we're going to carefully lift ourselves up, and we're lifting our bottom off the chair and then through our legs, rolling up our shoulders and finally bringing the head up last. Okay, so we're going to use the chair for support for the next set of exercises. So what I'm going to do is, holding onto my chair, I'm going to work the backs of my calves by doing some little calf raises. So we're going to hold onto the chair. Our hands are placed down. I like to put my fingertips on the chair and making sure my body is going forwards towards the chair. So I'm just going to lift and lower my heels off the floor using the support of the chair. So nicely working down the backs of the calves, which is going to help with our working those calf muscles, because it helps to strengthen those calf muscles. So strengthening the calf muscles is always great for walking, standing for long periods, and dancing if you like dancing. 2 more, and rest there. Okay, give the legs a shake, because you will have felt that in your calf muscles. Okay, holding onto the chair now, we're going to make the chair take our body weight, and we're going to push the bottom back and then pull up, so we're squeezing up through the thighs. So we're just going to push the bottom back and lift up. If you make sure your body weight is forwards into the chair, and then that will keep your knees protected. So we're just going to push the bottom back and push up, back and push up. So this is a good one for strengthening the thighs, which again helps you with your standing and walking, and also helps you be able to get up in and out of your chair. So pushing your bottom back and pulling up. Head is looking forwards. Push down, pull up, and your body weight's forwards into the chair, so we don't put any stress on the knees. Toes are pointing forwards, and the knees are in line with the toes as we push down and pull up. And last one, rest there. Okay, holding onto that chair again with our fingertips, we're going to do a second set of the calf raises. So we're just lifting up off the floor and down, up off the floor and down. Shoulders back, tummy in nice and tight. And we're lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. 2 more, and rest there. Once more, give those legs a shake. Final exercise today, we're going to work through those outer thighs. Okay, so we're keeping those toes pointing forwards, and we're just going to take that leg out to the side and bring it back in. Out to the side and bring it back in. Two more. Last one. Changing over to the other side. So taking that leg out and bringing it in, out and bringing it in. So my feet stay parallel, toes forwards, and we're just feeling it on the outer thighs. We lift and lower. The standing leg takes the weight bearing exercise, which is quite good for us. And last one, rest there. Give those legs a shake. Because we work the calves so much, we're going to give the calves a good stretch now. So we're just going to take the right foot back, body weight forwards, and we're lunging down through that front knee. Heels pressed into the floor. Bring the back leg in so the toe is opposite the heel, and sit down on both knees. So the knees are pointing forwards in line with the toes, as if you perched on the edge of a bar stool. Swap the feet. Let's change to the other side. So leg back, toes pointing forwards, Heels pressed into the floor, so we're stretching through the calf muscle, giving it a good stretch. And then we're bringing the back leg in so the toe is opposite the heel and sit down on the back calf. So both knees are bent as if you perched on the edge of a bar stool. And relax there. We're going to now take the right toe back and just press the pelvis forward. So I'm just bringing that pelvis forward, so I'm feeling a nice little stretch here in the hip flexor muscle, which we use quite a lot doing those squats and pull-ups. And release it there, over to the other side. Toe on the floor and press the pelvis forward, so we're feeling that stretch there in the hip flexor. We also use the hip flexor with quite a few of our seated exercises too. We're going to stretch the muscle at the front of the thigh now, the quadricep. Now this one's quite a tricky one, so you might need to get something to hold on to help with this. So if you just curl your heel towards your bottom and you're going to hold onto your shoelaces and press the pelvis forwards, feeling a stretch down through the front of the thigh. If you're not able to reach your shoelaces, you can hold onto your heel, or you can hold the bottom of your leggings or the bottom of your sock. Or if you're able to, if you can't manage to reach, you can use a scarf to wrap around your leg and pull up with a scarf. Press the pelvis forwards. And then we're going to just rest there and do the same on the other side. So taking the leg back and we're curling the heel towards the bottom, holding the shoelaces if we can, feeling that stretch down the front of the thigh. If we can't hold on to the shoelaces, hold your heel or the bottom of your trousers to pull that leg. Or if you can't reach, you can use a scarf or a towel just to hold and pull in. And relax there. Okay, the rest of our exercises now, our stretching exercises, are going to be seated. So you can have a nice sit down and relax. Okay, so first of all, we're going to take the right leg in towards the chest, holding the knee in. Again, you might not be able to pull your knee in as far as I have, but that's fine. You work to your own level. You might be able to pull it in further than me. So hold it there, and this is stretching nicely through our bottom. And we're just going to circle the toes as we do that. And then back the other way. Straighten that leg out now, and we're flexing the foot. So it's as if you're showing your footprint to somebody in front of you. We're going to reach towards the toes here, feeling the stretch through the hamstring. So if you're able to, you can stretch like that. If you prefer to place that foot on the floor to stretch, that's fine. Choose a position that works best for you. Some people can manage to reach past their toes. If you can just reach to your calf and you feel the stretch, or if you just feel the stretch without touching your calf, that's fine. That's the stretch that's right for you. We're going to place the heel now onto the calf, again feeling the stretch through the outer thigh. Again, if you feel the stretch there, you can just leave that leg there and stretch. If you want to work a little bit harder and you want to bring that leg up, feel the stretch. If you want to work harder still, you can place the foot on the thigh. With stretches, everybody's different, so just work within your capabilities. So feeling that nice stretch through the outer thigh. And then we're just going to take that knee over the other leg and use the opposite hand. Change over, so we've got the same hand and knee together, and look over your shoulder so we get a nice stretch down through the sides of the body. Opening out the chest. Release the feet down, and we're going to change over to the other side now. So first of all, bringing that knee in towards the chest, hold it there, looking forwards. And we're circling around with those toes. And then going back the other way, pulling that bottom in, feeling that stretch through your bottom. If you can't feel this stretch, don't worry. Again, everybody's different. So, flexing the foot forwards. This one you will be able to feel stretching through the back of the hamstring. If you want to increase the stretch, you can stretch towards your toes, feeling that stretch through the back of the hamstring. Reach a little bit further if you want to. If you want to change the position, if you feel that on the floor is more comfortable for you, you can reach towards your shoelaces from the floor. As long as you feel that stretch through the back of that leg, that's the right position. We're then going to place the heel of that leg onto the calf, feeling a stretch through the outer thigh. If you can feel the stretch there, leave it there. If you want to increase it, slide it up a little further. If you can manage to get it onto your thigh, that's great. Just lean forward so you get that lovely stretch. Taking the leg over the other leg, and then we're going to use the same hand and knee together as we look over the shoulder and feel the stretch through the sides of the body. Place the same knee and elbow together and we open out the chest on the other side, feeling the stretch down the sides of the body and through the front of your chest. Relax it there and place the feet back on the floor. Take the hands in the small of the back and press your chest forward, feeling a nice stretch through the front of the chest. Keeping the head looking forwards. And then we're just going to bring the arms forwards and push away from our body, feeling a stretch through the upper arms. Lift the arms up over the head. Just move your toes as you do this, so we get a nice stretch through those tummy muscles. And release down. Lift one hand up to the side and reach over, stretching down through the sides of the body. Release there, and let's do exactly the same over at the other side. Lift up and reach over, so as if you're reaching towards the corner of the room, keeping that back tall as we do that. And releasing there. From here, we're just going to take the hands onto the thighs and we're going to pull the tummy in and round the lower back, so we've got a nice cat stretch. Head in line with the spine, lifting from that lower back, stretching through that lower back area. And then we're just going to turn the hands forward and press the chest forward, so we're feeling a nice stretch through the front of the body, through the chest and the abs. And then we're going to pull back up into that cat stretch and just hold that stretch. Remember to breathe as you stretch. And release there. Let's stretch out the arms now. Place the right hand between the shoulder blades and the left hand over the top, or if you prefer, you can push from the front, keeping the head again in line with the spine. Feel that lovely stretch in the upper arms. And release down. Same on the other side, between the shoulder blades, over the top, or pushing from the front. Feeling that stretch in the upper arms, over the top if you prefer. And then we're going to take that hand and place it on the side of the head, reaching the arm out to the side, so we get a nice stretch along the neckline. Careful not to pull on your neck, palm facing down. And release it there. That's a lovely stretch, that one. Over to the other side, very carefully lifting out to the side. Careful not to pull on your neck. Feel that lovely stretch along the neckline. And then that hand that's out to the side, we're going to bring it in front. Show me the palm, hold between the joints and look over your shoulder. Relaxing the arm down, over to the other side, hand up in front of the body, between the joints, and look over your shoulder. Relax there. Just the inner thighs to do now, so we're going to take the knee out to the side, body weight forward over the front knee, and we'll feel a nice stretch there in the inner thigh. Bring it back to the centre, and let's do the same on the other side. One leg in front and one leg out to side, and we're just bringing that body weight forward, feeling that stretch in the inner thigh. Relax both feet back to the centre. Let's take a nice deep breath in and reach up and release it out. One more time, breath in, lift and release it down. One last time, up and release it down. Give your hands a shake, legs a shake, and give yourselves a well-deserved clap. Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. I hope you enjoyed our Rethinking Pain Movement Matters session this afternoon. Don't forget, like the page, let us know that you joined us today. The session is recorded, so you are able to come back and watch it again if you want. If you want some more of these sessions, you can find more on the Rethinking Pain Movement Matters website, or you can also look at the Rethinking Pain YouTube channel and the Keithley Healthy Living YouTube channel for further sessions. If you live in the Bradford or Craven district and you want to be referred into our Rethinking Pain service, you can ask your GP to make a referral to the service for you. Thank you very much for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed the session, and I hope that I see you all again next week. Take care. Bye.